Trekkies and Trekkers. Welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Trek Tuesday. I'm your host Dorinda, and together with my lovely co-host Amanda Hopper, we recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek, starting with Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recapped in chronologically following. We will approach each episode with humor and a phenomenon look. Today's recap is the episode Haven. So let me guys introduce you again to Amanda. Hello, Amanda.
Hello again. Hello again.
How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was good. I got one of the items I was hoping to buy after Christmas, which was a new bird cage, which is a lot bigger than the other bird cage for my two little guys.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Oh, yeah. And I got some candy. No, like I need that, but okay. And some pencils, stuff like that. I got my mom some coloring books because she loves to color. And I got my dad some tools.
Nice. So today we are going to talk about the episode Haven. We are recording this just still in 2021, but it will be airing in 2022. So guys, welcome in the new year.
Yeah, it's going to be 2022 on Saturday, actually. It'll be 2022, but we'll be airing the episode on Tuesday of 2022. Oh, and it's going to be a Tuesday, which is the second day of the week in 2022. So there's 4 2s in that one.
Yeah. So, this episode called Haven. And Haven is a planet with a lot of healing powers, and it's very known to other species, and the Enterprise is just visiting there to relax, but it's also gonna be a bumpy ride, if I can say it like that.
Yeah, they're there to also pick up Wyatt and his parents, who are human, and to pick up Deanna Troy's mother, Lwaxana Troi, who was played by Majel Roddenberry. I think that's how you say her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Majel. I'm not sure if it's Majel or Majel.
Well, this is just also the first episode wherein we gonna meet Lwaxana, but also this is the first episode that it's about the traditional marriage of Betazoids. And so Diana needs to marry Wyatt because it was an arranged marriage when they were super young.
Yeah. Like, it was arranged from when they were young, and I'm assuming Deanna forgot all about it because she's like been away for so long. I guess she forgot all about it until pop, here comes her mother and the Wyatt family.
Well, first of all, there was she got a notification from one of the officers with, well, there is a message for you, and with an object from Haven. So this object was like a box with a face on it, and the face would come to life and bring the message to Diana. That was the first time she got the notice from, hey, it's gonna be happening, you're going to be married. And she got a lot of jewelries and gems, and so she explained, well, you can see this like a marriage presents, etc. And but as soon as Diana told Riker that they have been in arranged marriage, Riker wasn't happy.
No, he was like super not happy. He was like very unimpressed. Like, he's thinking, well, she's supposed to be mine. I'm her Mazdi. I can't pronounce it. I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, Imzadi, not Mazda. Saying a name after a car, but what? Because they're supposed to be each other's
beloved one. But also Diana was very horrified by it because, yeah, like you said, she never thought about it again because she worked on the Enterprise and went away for a long time, and now she's meeting Wyatt and his parents after so many years, and she, yeah, she is very horrified by it. So the next scene is that Troy, Riker, and were in the wedding room with Picard, and Troy was telling how it goes in traditional marriages on Betazoid, and Riker was very defensive, and you could see he wouldn't like it, and he still had feelings for her, and
You just look at him, you knew he was very grumpy about it. He was like a grumpy Gus. That he's like, this can't be right. I'm supposed to be her man or type attitude he had. And no, and she was going to end up marrying someone else instead of being with him. He was like a big grumpy Gus about it.
Yeah, and so Captain Picard asked to Troy of, when you are married, are you going to stay on the ship or are you going to leave? And she told him that she would leave because it's the Betazoid way. And so Captain Picard was taken aback as well with it because now he's losing a valuable member of the ship, but also his counselor. And then the Miller's wedding party came aboard, and Wyatt had a special flower with him, and he said,
yeah,
the color would change of the flower at the mood of the owner.
It was almost like a mood ring, basically. It would change colors.
Yeah, I want to say that, yeah.
For her, when Deanna was holding it, it was a white color at that point.
Yeah.
I wish I knew what they said the white meant, but it was a nice one. And it also had blue and purple forming in it and everything.
Yeah, but I was thinking it was also, I think that would be very weird as well, because Wyatt's father was the best friend of Diana's father, and Diana's father is, of course, also human. So it was very weird combination that they would be promised to each other, and especially, you know how Lwaxana Troy is. Jeez, really, when she started to talk, I was really thinking, oh my god, this is just the beginning. I really hate her already. Diana, Lwaxana, and you could see that during the episode, Lwaxana wanted to have the last word because she has so many titles and she was little thinking of the humans. And Wyatt's mother also wanted to have the last word about it. And the really funny thing, and I'm going to be a little bit more into the episode now, but there was a reception for Troy and Wyatt, and Data was observing everybody while, like, obviously that he was so super curious about how people reacted, etc. And the funny part was, let me see where I wrote it down. What did Picard said?
You said you're basically going around the room like a buzzard.
Yeah.
Like he was hovering around the room like a buzzard.
Yeah. So that was really funny too, but it reminded me again how quote young Data is, unquote, and he had a lot to learn and he had a lot to experience with his emotions and etc. That's why he observed everyone that much. And well, I'm going a little bit back again to that Wyatt and his family came on board. His mom is very emotional because finally her son is going to be married. But his parents are acting really weird. And I remember also that when Wyatt saw Troy for the first time, he was a little taken aback because he thought she would look different. She would be the woman that he always have drawn.
But lo and behold, it was not the same person in the picture that he drew. It was a whole different person that will be introduced in the episode.
The Millers went to their quarters, and then Lwaxana Troi beamed over with Mr. Holm.
Yep, he was played by Carl Strickland. He was the guy that did Lurch. Yeah, he was Lurch in the Addams Family. And if I remember correctly, I think I told you one time, he was also one of the characters in the movie Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, you told me that, yeah.
Yeah, he played one of the True Knots in Dr. Sleep.
I think also that Picard is, well, Lwaxana Troi will tease him a lot, and he has to have patience with her and etc. Also because, of course, he's the captain of the ship. Picard is already annoyed, and Deanna, of course, is embarrassed by Lwaxana Troi. You also could see right away, okay, they are introducing you a little bit more of what the Betazoid are. There was a funny scene that Lwaxana Troi told Picard, okay, you can carry my bag.
Yeah, technically that's Mr. Holmes' job, not the captain's job. And Deanna's like, Mother, that's not his job. And he's like, oh, no, Deanna, I'm fine, I can do it. He goes to lift his bag up, he's like, a ton of bricks, he can barely carry it. He's like, what are you packing in that thing?
Yeah, and if you see later when Mr. Holmes is unpacking the bag, you could see it's just closed and a little bit more, and yeah, and it's so heavy. So in one way, it was really funny to see Picard already struggling.
Like it was awkwardly shaped too. So
yeah, but
this weird rounded shape makes it hard to carry too.
Well, you could already see what kind of tone it will be between Picard and Lwaxana. I think people will say you're gonna love Lwaxana or you're gonna hate her. I must say in Deep Space Nine she's a lot better than TNG.
Yeah, she's kind of mellowed out a little bit, but she's still got a bit of I guess say hyperness about her around people, and her talkativeness. Like
I think
she's a talker.
She got some of an air of her, but
yeah.
I do think Odo is smoothing her down.
Yeah, gotta rewatch the series again. And like Lwaxana, she is a talker. Like she'll talk, basically. She's like me.
Yeah, but she's also very, how'd you say it?
Opinionated?
But she's also aware, of course, of the feelings of others, and she plays in and she manipulates it.
Yeah, like she can read other people's minds. Like her, she's full Beta Z. Deanna's only part Beta Z, part human.
Yeah, and that's the funny part when she, at the end, leave the Enterprise, is that she's reading Picard's mind, and she's telling him to Picard, that you really think about me like that. You're worse than some kind of other alien race.
Yeah.
And I think that is what that. I must say, although she is very annoying, she's also very funny. So we're coming back to Deanna and Wyatt, and Deanna was in his room, and then he saw they started to get to know each other, and Wyatt told her, well, I'm a doctor, but I also love to draw. And then she sees that it's a completely different woman than her. And in the mix of all of this, Deanna had doubts. They talk about that other woman, and first in the beginning, Wyatt was really apologizing and said, well, no more, we're going to marry, so I will be faithful to you, etc., etc., etc. I think that was also one of the moments that Deanna Troy asked Riker if he would come to the reception.
And
He was very
if he would
bucked up. He said, well, I will try, and he wasn't calling her Imzadi anymore, and Diana said, well, you will always be my Imzadi, and I will call you still that, but Riker said, well, you're going to be married, and I can't be your beloved anymore, and you could see he was really fighting the feeling of not punishing Wyatt for getting Diana.
Yeah, he wasn't happy. Like when she asked him to come dance at his wedding, he said, "I'll try to." You can tell he doesn't really want to go to the wedding because of his feelings for Deanna, and basically,
Yeah, and that was the point too. At the reception, those two mothers began to fight each other. That was so much drama, and of course, Picard was very diplomatic and said, well, we are Starfleet, we do this and this, so the conversation about that is over now, and we will figure this out.
And Data, oh, this part was funny. Data, he's like, hey, can you tell us more about the wedding, about the Betazed wedding? And,
oh my
and
god,
Lexana
yeah.
Goes, and Lexana's like, oh, bride and groom get naked, and so does everyone else. And Data's face, you can just tell, even though the android has no emotions, Brent, well, his face just lit right up when he heard that.
Yeah, and by his father as well.
And Yara was kind of laughing about it. She's like, everybody goes naked? And then she starts laughing almost.
Did you notice that the hair of Tasha Yar was very funky? And of Dr. Crusher, Dr. Crusher was also very put her hair up, and yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it's like hairstyles in the 80s. They were fluffy.
That was the whole thing with the reception, and I think, although it was nice, I think it also was chaotic with all the drama, etc. But meanwhile, there is an unidentified vessel coming towards Haven and the Enterprise. It has to be a Tellurian's vessel, and everyone thought those were extinct because of one of kind of virus. It's a real, how can I say this? They were in quarantine. They are the only survivors, and
I think there were 8 on that ship. They said in the episode there's 8 survivors of that planet.
Yeah, and when we see those people for the first time, we saw that woman, and that woman was the woman Wyatt throughout his own life.
Ariana, I think her name was, or something like that. Ariana.
When the reception was, Crusher told Wyatt that she still wants to talk about him, about the illness of the Tellurians, and maybe they can find a cure or whatever. So she said, well, my lab is at your disposal, and in one way I was thinking, good, that is typical Beverly Crusher. She is open for other methods, etc. And who knows what they can find. So I was really happy that's gonna be, but there has been a lot of changes with when the Tellurians are in orbit. So the whole situation is really a stress situation. You can see that in all the things when the reception was there. Riker excused himself to of the reception, and he asked the captain, can I go, because I like to get more information about the Tellurians and that situation. So Picard let him go. But we all know that it was because of Deanna.
Yeah, he didn't want to be in that room any longer with Deanna and Wyatt and his family because he just wasn't happy that Deanna was going to be marrying Wyatt.
She has always been Imzali, and to know that she isn't anymore, I think that's really tough for him.
And then when he leaves the room, some more craziness goes down between Lwaxana and Wyatt's mother. And yeah, she has this vine on her arm. You think, oh, it's just a regular plant she wears around as a plant ornament. No, it's her pet.
Yeah, it reminds me of our walking branches in a way. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly in English because I'm just translating it now from the Dutch. But there was also that Lwaxana tells Wyatt's mom that her husband wants to see her naked. So,
and he's like, no, I'm not thinking that. And basically almost getting him in trouble with his wife.
Yeah, but it was a funny moment also because in that way, yes, Lwaxana pours some more oil on the fire, but in one way it is very funny. But this was the last straw for Deanna, and Deanna got up very upset, and she runs away, and she was very embarrassed by Lwaxana. That was one of the reasons she always told us that's why I went to Starfleet, because I want to get away from my mother. I can't stand her in a way. I love her, but in one way I don't, because she always embarrassed me.
As soon as she left the room, Data's like, hey, can you guys please continue the petty bickering? This is interesting to me.
Yeah. And in one way, that's also very funny. And yeah, I think that's just also the process of Data again to become more human. So he observed us.
And plus, Data was hanging around Mr. Holmes almost the whole time.
Oh my God,
the guy get drunk. The guy was getting drunk.
Yeah!
And Brent Spiner must be less than 6 feet tall. I know he is. He's got to be at least 5 foot something, because I'm 5'5". Mr. Holmes must be over 6 feet plus.
Deanna goes to the holodeck and she finds Will there, and they have a conversation. And it wasn't some kind of a goodbye conversation. Very down, and then Wyatt joined them. And you could see right away that Riker was very angry about it, irritated by it. And that was something else. And I heard more. Deanna calls Riker Bill instead of Will.
Yeah, I thought, wait a minute, Will? I thought it was Will. It's not Bill.
Yeah, but she said she calls him Bill. And
yeah, I noticed that. I was like, yeah, it's not Bill, it's Will. Maybe it was a snafu when they were recording the lines and they thought just for giggles to keep it in.
No, well, what I have noticed, and William Shatner did that too, his name is William, or Will, but a lot of people call him Bill, and I just think that's weird.
Oh, yeah. I got Uncle William. Sometimes they call him Bill or Will.
Wyatt tells Deanna that when she lost her temper, their parents made a compromise for the wedding. It will be half human, half bitterzoid, and it was her mom's idea. What was very surprising.
So the ones that will be naked would be Deanna, her mother, Wyatt, and Wyatt's father apparently wants to be naked for the wedding.
Yeah, Wyatt make a funny joke about his father that he caught him in front of the mirror and yeah.
Oh, look at this, sucking the gut. That's what he was doing, sucking in his gut in the mirror.
It's really, it's in what kind of way funny that his father wants to be naked.
Unlike his mother, who refuses.
Yeah. So Wyatt and Diana are sharing their first kiss, and I was really immediately thinking, okay, he's not Riker.
No.
I don't know. It just looks weird because you only know it's Riker and Diana always, and not Diana with someone else.
No.
Although Riker can be a player as well.
Well, yeah, we all know that. Riker is definitely a player.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of the whole that traditional Betazoid bond? How
Well, it's interesting of how they do it. Basically, like almost living in a nudist colony with them. It would be. I'm sure in the nudist colony they all get married naked, so they're similar to Bayzids.
Yeah, and I don't. I think it makes something. I think at that time, it make the subject of nudity and nude as in a community, those nude communities.
Yeah, nudist colonies.
It's more approachable because and that's what I love about Star Trek. Star Trek is in one way always ahead of us with things, but also like technology, but also like social checks that is still very
taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like social things that are taboo. Like some people find nudist colonies a little weird and find them taboo, and like they're practically everywhere. You don't even know they're around unless somebody tells you about it. Like Florida, I know they probably have them in Florida. I've heard about them. I wouldn't be too surprised if they have them out where we live, just hidden.
Yeah, but it's also what I mean. The subject will be a little bit more approachable.
Like in the future, you can talk about it all you want. Nobody bats an eye about it.
Yeah, so I think that is one great thing of Star Trek. So the Tellurian ship is in transporter room range now, and the planet wants that Picard, because they have a treaty with the Federation, that Picard destroy them right away. And Picard said, well, we don't know, not going to do that right away because I want to know more first. And they were not happy with that. But Picard said, okay, it's what we're going to do. That's not Federation stuff to do it like that. So the Enterprise made contact with the ship, and Diana was right away on her feet because that was the woman of what that Wyatt. Yeah. But there was also, I noticed something else too. The chair that man was sitting on, that is the same chair Worf used in his private room.
Oh.
I saw that right away and I was thinking, hey, they are, that's Worf's chair.
Well, that's pretty cool that they would utilize one of the stuff from the Enterprise to use on another set for the other group. That's a neat idea.
Well, that is always, Star Trek always have been that way. They always recycle their props and whatever else. So White came on the bridge and he was very actually agitated with, guys, why do I need to come to the bridge and why this, why that? And then he saws the woman. But that man, the father of that woman, didn't he play it in some of the other episodes as well? I think
so. I think he might have played in some other episodes. I just don't remember. But he looks so familiar.
I thought he also played in the episode when they got that time capsule with Amelia Earhart in it, and he was one of the other people who just woke up, and I thought
Oh,
he was one of a politician or whatever, or he was a musician. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
I can't remember what. I know what episode you're talking about. The ones that were frozen back in time and were defrosted on the Enterprise.
Yeah,
The three guys and the woman, the housewife, and the other three guys. One was a musician, but I don't think he was the musician.
yeah.
I forget the name of the episode, but that was a. Yeah, he might have been in that one. We'll have to take a closer look when we get to that one.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
So they all say the prophecy is that Wyatt will come to us and will cure us, etc., etc. And after that, Wyatt went to Loxana to talk. And to my big shock, she was even nice to him.
Yeah, she was. And then she was also deciding what would look good in her hair while she was buck naked.
Yeah, that was also funny. And Wyatt was impatient of, yes, ma'am, I know you want to talk about that, but this is my feelings and I can't marry Deanna. But he didn't tell her that or whatever. And then he
She's
went...
a beta. He figured it out.
Well, I think at moments she is so distracted that she doesn't read your mind.
Yeah, that's true. She's probably so distracted on what she wants to wear in her hair while naked that she probably didn't read his mind right away about the problem at hand. That's true.
Yeah. Wyatt made up his mind, went to the sick bay, got supplies, and first they had to beam the medicine over to the ship.
Yeah. He also, when picking up the supplies, if you notice, he stole a hypo spray.
Yeah.
To knock out the transporter guy, chief, whatever you call him.
So that is also another thing of he had other plans, and so he beamed himself over. He came in some kind of a hallway, and he said there was only portraits of him from small to adulthood.
Yeah, I think there was like 5 or 6 pictures of him from when he was a little kid to fully grown up.
Yeah, and that was I did like that, but and if I remember correctly, he also get the medicine for himself because he used to have a spray on himself earlier. I think with the medicine supplies he got, I think he's gonna evolve to figure out a medicine for the Tellarines.
Yeah, he's gonna try to help find a cure for what they have.
So there was a long conversation. Wyatt knew exactly why, and when they made contact again with the Enterprise, Deanna knew right away. She was just a Malak. The tractor beam got off, and so the Tellarines could be going on their way.
And Wyatt's mother wasn't too happy either about it when she saw what was going on. She says, Captain, please beam him back from the lepers. She called them lepers. They weren't lepers. They had a virus in them, and Deanna comes right up behind him and says, I'm sorry, Miss Miller, he can't come back.
You know that this virus also remind me a little bit of that virus when Pulaski got infected with it. You remember that episode of they got infected by the young children and...
Yeah, they got older. The virus for Pulaski got older. I'm thinking that's the one you're talking about.
Well, I would have loved if they got us some more background information about the Tellarines and also how they got the virus, etc. I think that would be interesting for the whole storyline of the episode. But okay. So, the wedding is off, and you could see, as well as Troy as Riker, they were very happy about that. Very relieved. Deanna and I thought Picard were bringing Wyatt's parents to the transporter room. His father was really nice to Deanna. He said, well, keep the bride's treasure, and you can do it, something with it in one way. And I think you saw a little bit how he thought about her father as well. And
Oh yeah, he was friends with her father.
yeah, and in one way of how that friendship was. But the one other thing, what I can't understand is her father is human, his father is human. Why the hell have they made an arranged marriage for them?
I don't know. It's just so confusing.
So, guys, maybe when you are hearing this, and that's the question I think for this episode, why do you think this would happen like that? Because, of course, we humans have arranged marriages, but come on, it's the 21st century, hello?
Yeah. You think arranged marriages would be done with?
Yeah.
Like you don't think they'd be around like into the future, but no, apparently not. They are.
And the strange thing is, Deanna was happy with it. And I was thinking, Deanna, you don't know Wyatt, first of all. Second of all, maybe she keep it in tradition and honor that tradition of the Bittersoid side. But I was thinking, Deanna, this is so not you. Why would you?
Yeah, normally she'd be against something like that, but no, she's like, okay, I accept it. I'll marry him.
Look, it's nothing that I have against Wyatt, but and he should be a lovely and good guy, but come on, we're talking about Riker, and we're talking about Troy, and those two just have to be together, and I just can't imagine that Deanna would be happy in an arranged marriage. Look, if it was two Falcons, I can understand that, because that's how their culture is, but Deanna, yeah, I don't know. It's still weird. So, we're going to get now in the last scene, and that was the scene that Lwaxana is going to beam down back again, and of course we saw that very funny scene with Picard, that he was thinking indecent things about Lwaxana. And Lwaxana was saying, well, Jean-Luc.
Picard! Jean-Luc, such naughty thoughts. And the look on his face was priceless. He's like, was I thinking that?
Well, more like,
And,
oops, I'm busted.
Yeah, I'm busted. Yep. Deanna knows I'm busted, and Deanna goes, oh, she's just joking with you. Even we know
Yeah.
Deanna knows that she wasn't joking.
And yeah, that was the first, also the face of Picard was saying, oh damn, I survived this, but in the future, I don't know.
No, she'll be back to get on his nerves and have the hots for him.
Oh, and that reminds me also of another episode. I think there was one that she was kidnapped by Ferengis, and
Yes,
he had to.
Deanna.
Yeah, and she. No, not Deanna too. It was just her, and she was like an ambassador for Bittersoid, and he has to save her, and so and that was the funny part of it. He made a theatrical scene to win her over back, like the old Shakespeare theater, like.
Yeah. Well,
What?
Deanna was kidnapped in part of the episode with him, but she did get to go back. But her mother stayed behind,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I get what you mean.
really, I think that's a funny episode as well, because it's, yeah, you know, we're gonna get some more about the Ferengi, and in one way Ferengis are very stupid, but in the other way they are very smart.
They're smart and clueless all at the same time.
Yeah, and that was so funny, and that was also, and I'm going to jump now to another series. I'm going to jump to The Enterprise, and that was a little scene with a Ferengi and T'Pol. And T'Pol gave him Umax. And she ended up using the Vulcan neck punch. And that was so funny. I liked that episode, by the way, too. So, Amanda, can you think of something you still like to add or like to talk about this episode?
Well, I can't really think much of anything besides the fact that the arranged marriages in the future on Star Trek are still a thing, which is really bizarre, but to each their own.
I think in one way I understand the part of tradition, but hey, it's the 24th century, hello!
Yeah.
Do you think, and Picard always said we live in a society now that is equal to everyone in everyone thing you believe or do or what the tradition is. So
yeah, that's true. But you think in the near future of the 24th century, some of the traditions probably would have died off, but no, they're still going on.
Yeah, and it's
You know.
The question for this week is, since when are we going to do questions?
Yeah, I guess we're going to be adding questions now to our comment section.
Once again, the question is, what do you think about the traditional bonding ritual in like an arranged marriage between Deanna and Wyatt? So, give your answers in the comments below. Of course, you can answer it or comment it in on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel.
And Twitter, you usually put the comment on Twitter.
Yeah, but then you have to use the hashtag Girls Talking Track, so we can see it. I think then I will also make because I don't have more emails anymore, so I will have to use my private Twitter for it. So I will make a list on Twitter for Girls Talking Track. So every time we're going to say something about Girls Talking Track, we're going to use the hashtag Girls Talking Track, and then it will. You can see also what everyone is answering or commenting or what we are twittering. So Amanda, I am going to invite you too as well to that list, so also you can use that. And we hope you guys. Tell us what you think, how we're doing with the episodes, and or if you would like to talk about this episode, just comment on whatever platform you're using, and that's what we love to hear from you.
Now the score.
Yeah, the rating.
Even I remember that.
I think I'm gonna rate this episode as a 8.5.
Yeah, I say around that too, 8.5.
Yeah, I think that's a good score. So guys, we are at the end of the episode. Amanda, can I thank you again? And we see you guys in 2 weeks again with a new episode recap. The episode we're going to recap is The Big Goodbye.
Ooh, I love that episode. They're in suits, I think, on the holodeck.
Oh, I can't remember it again, so I need to rewatch again.
Yeah, because I think that's the one where they're in their suits in the holodeck, and the holodeck malfunctions. I think that's the episode.
Oh, okay.
Data and Beverly and Picard, and I think Geordi and someone else comes on with them.
Is that not the one with the Victorian time? And I also thought it was that Moriarty was in there.
No, that's a different one.
Okay. Well, it was lovely talking to you again, Amanda, and I hope you guys
Yeah, same here.
like this episode as well. So, I have only one thing to say still, and that is live long and prosper until about 2 weeks.
Into the new year, 2 weeks into the new year.
Live long and prosper!
Live long and prosper, guys. And Happy New Year.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode, we will recap the episode The Big Goodbye. Girls Talking Trek is also to listen, follow, and subscribe on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. If you'd like to comment on this episode or talk with us about the Star Trek episode we just recapped, you can reach out on the Facebook group and the YouTube channel of Girls Talking Trek. We will see you in 2 weeks. Live long and prosper.